People have trauma-based responses in their relationship based off of their attachment style. And depending on the type of attachment style they have, typically dictates the type of trauma-based response that you will see. I'm saying this because it can be very confusing if you don't have a traumatized relationship overall, to where there's a lot of toxicity going on in a relationship in the general sense, and your partner has a moment where they just blow up, or they respond really intensely or really emotionally, or get really angry about seemingly a small issue or a small circumstance or even a misunderstanding. Or if you have an intense emotional reaction to something, right? Or you get really upset and angry about a seemingly small situation, and your partner's completely confused as to why. And you don't even know necessarily why you're so triggered or how to reel yourself back in the best way. And one of you's left not knowing how to support the other person, or not knowing how to bring yourself back to a centered space. So I'm going to break down the different attachment styles, their typical trauma-based responses, and how you can support your partner if they're going through one of these moments, or how to reel yourself back in. So let's say you have an anxious attachment style and your partner goes on a business trip for like a week and communication is not as consistent or as frequent as it usually is. The trauma response may be you becoming really clingy and starting to need constant reassurance. Now you're texting or calling your partner excessively to the point you might be interrupting business meetings and so forth because you're starting to feel really anxious and feeling insecure. And now your partner's getting upset and they don't know why you're overreacting to the lack of communication because they're busy. So what you need to do for yourself right now in this circumstance to kind of reel yourself back in is find a sense of grounding through self-soothing techniques, positive affirmations about yourself, which means remind yourself of why you're so valuable to your partner. And why those thoughts come into your mind that says they don't want you or they're not answering right now means they don't care is a lie, which means write down the proof, write down the facts, the things you can prove that validates what you believe about yourself or what you want to believe about yourself, right? Write down the experiences you've had with your partner that prove they do care and that they wouldn't just not respond because they don't want you anymore, whatever the case is, and that you're not connected any longer. And any other thought that comes to your mind that wants to tell you that, no, you have something to be worried about, challenge it with supporting evidence that you know from the relationship history you have with your partner that disproves that narrative. This is all about building internal validation for yourself to not rely on external validation by using your actual real world experiences to validate the worth that you have and to challenge these narratives about your partner not wanting you is the reason why you guys' communication is a little more severed right now. And if you're the one trying to support your partner that's having this trauma response, then try to provide reassurance where you can. Right? Set the expectations up front as to when you may be able to respond throughout your week, throughout your days. Or when you have moments throughout your days, just do a light check-in. Hey, just letting you know I'm about to go into another meeting and I'll be free maybe at this time. Even sending messages like, I really miss you and I can't wait to see you again, help a lot. Or let's talk about if you have an avoidant attachment style and you have a situation where your partner wants to talk about something deep, maybe towards the future, and it gets a little awkward for you. The common trauma response here is to become withdrawn and emotionally distant. You start to feel overwhelmed, you shut down emotionally, you avoid the conversation altogether, and you start to distance yourself physically. The best step for you is going to be to self-reflect regularly and practice and work on being vulnerable to share your feelings gradually over time. So after reflecting on your feelings, start to share them in small doses, things that are manageable to you, like expressing one aspect of your thoughts or concerns at a time. And if you're supporting your partner through this, respect their need for space and give gentle nudges to start opening up to communicate and share emotions without pressure. The big piece is without pressure. Say things like, I understand this is difficult for you, but I'm here when you're ready to talk. And don't press for immediate answers. Now, if you have a secure attachment style, you typically don't have very deep trauma-based responses because you're usually pretty balanced and maybe healed and whole for the most part. But even people with secure attachment styles can have a trauma trigger type of response depending on whatever the situation is, such as having a major disagreement with your partner about a major life decision you guys need to make together that leaves you questioning things and a little rocky, where you may go through brief periods of insecurity and overthinking the conflict as a whole. And it gets you maybe thinking about the impact it might have on the relationship, but you generally still maintain a calm demeanor. So your biggest strength's always going to be going to your partner to have an open, honest conversation to seek clarity and reassurance in the situation, and be direct. Let them know, I'm concerned about how this is going to affect us. Can we talk about it and can we work through it? If you're supporting your partner through this moment, then be present to reinforce the trust and security through honesty and empathy. And now let's talk about the fearful avoidant, which is really a blend of someone with an anxious attachment style and someone with an avoidant attachment style. Maybe your partner mentions wanting to take the relationship to the next level, like moving in together or maybe getting engaged. Your trauma response may be bouncing between clinginess and withdrawal, creating unpredictable behavior. You're excited and clingy one moment, then fearful and withdrawn the next. Now this creates confusion, and now your partner's getting mixed signals from you. Your biggest step is going to be sitting down to really unpack your emotions and the underlying reasons behind them, right? And go get therapy, counseling, coaching to help you understand your underlying fears and help develop a balanced approach to intimacy and independence for yourself. And through that, you can work on expressing your mixed feelings in a balanced way to your partner by isolating and speaking to the things that you feel excited about, and then also speaking to the things that makes you a little concerned and worried. And on your own, at least, asking yourself, how can I bring these two worlds together? How can they coexist so I can be more balanced? And if you're supporting your partner through this, the best thing you can do is just be present and let them know that this is a safe space to share openly without judgment, and that you just want to listen and understand. You can say, I can see you're a little conflicted by taking this next step, and so I'm here to listen whenever you're ready and willing to open up and share. And then you must be patient to give them time to work the courage up to actually do it. If you and your partner needs help working through trauma-based responses in your relationship so it doesn't ruin your foundation, you can either reach out to me through my website or you can DM me coaching and we will get to work. Let's get it.